Hey YouTube. It is a weird world out there. In New York, I once saw a man wearing a live snake like a necklace walk past a street performer who was dressed like a uterus lighting a small fire on the sidewalk. I dodged the flames and turned the corner and found myself in front of the rapper, Rick Ross. When everything out there is fighting for your attention, how do you even know where to look? When a simple stroll can often feel like wandering into an entirely new universe, it's no wonder the city's superhero now jumps dimensions with ease. That much humanity, clashing day after day, can't help but leave a trail of chaos in its wake. Every day, fragments of stories pass by in a blur, fading into the background of 8 million others, all hiding in plain sight. But the second you stop and take notice to even just one, you'll realize there's a whole new novel waiting for anyone willing to write. And that's when John Wilson shyly wanders into frame and hits record. How To with John Wilson, a web show discovered by Nathan Fielder and turned into HBO's strangest series, is an expert in knowing who and what to follow in a weird wild world waiting for someone to pay attention. Wherever you live, this show is a wonderful reminder that the world is full of absurdity and chaos, and the greatest skill you can have is knowing where to look.
Basically, anytime there's kind of a glitch in the matrix, that's when I pull out the camera and I start filming.
John Wilson teaches you how to notice. He takes mundane topics and shows you that a single step down their path will open up a universe. Try to find a bathroom and ask enough people and you might end up at Burning Man and in a legal battle with a cult. Start asking about scaffolding in the city and a stranger will start diving into their adventures in bondage.
He had scaffolding set up on the side of his house. It was in Hawaii. He left me outside when it rained, of course without clothes, because, like I said, he was a nudist. And that's the time he came in with the blindfold, and session lasted about 2 hours.
There are weird stories hiding everywhere. It's kind of the point of my own channel, which is why I feel like an evangelist for this show. And for anyone who loves video essays, alt comedy, and exploring the weird niche nonsense hidden in plain sight, this show is mandatory viewing. It's singular, bizarre, and hyper specific. As Warner Media continues to trip over itself in a shareholder simping fever dream, some of the best art out there is getting hidden under the haze, which is why I want to point the attention this way. A carnival barker shouting,
"Hurry, hurry, hurry before the big show begins!"
Don't let this show slip away into oblivion.
John's really good at discovering things that you would probably normally ignore or just walk by. But when you're really forced to look at it, it really makes you think about how confusing modern life is, I think.
A couple months ago, I was waiting for the crosswalk when I noticed something strange. A white 1989 Volvo sputtered into view and stopped me in my tracks. It's a weird car, and I'd recognize it anywhere for 2 reasons. In college, my dad found one on Craigslist that had been sitting in an old couple's garage letting the decades fly by. Bought it for $1,200 and I drove it for a year between semesters in college. I nicknamed it Apollo because it reminded me of an old space shuttle with its off-white paint and chunky black trim. I moved away and it faded to memory. And the second reason is because it's what John Wilson drives. It can't be, I thought. No way. And as I stood on the corner, a huge smile spread across my face as the realization set in. I must have looked like a kid seeing Santa because as the car closed in, I caught his eye. And as he passed through the light, I saw him smile back. Each of us noticing something hidden to the rest. A moment, flying by and lost to the wind. That car is a character in the show, and it fits perfectly into his picture of peculiar things. One's easily lost to time until someone pays attention. On the season 2 episode about parking, he takes that car on a seemingly small adventure, showing how a simple act of finding a space holds in it a whole world waiting to unfold. God, I love this show. It speaks to a way I like to wander about the world. Noticing is one of the most important skills you can hone in this life. I fundamentally believe that. Photography, videography, I love anything that lets you capture the moments life tosses your way. We're in a live-action game of I Spy and half of us aren't even looking. The light will never hit exactly that way again. The way the leaves look, that exact group of people, how it all interacts with our world is an unknowable creature, blowing around with the winds of fate, and it's our job to put ourselves in its way. In noticing what grabs your attention, you slowly understand what in your world is worthwhile. And on those chance moments that you place yourself just so perfectly in the way of that chaos, camera in hand, you might just capture magic. It's a high I've chased for years, and How To with John Wilson is a highlight reel of captured magic. And to be clear, magic doesn't have to be beautiful. Magic can be a weird man roaming the street in armor. It can be ugly and bizarre, but the only test is that it makes you stop and go, how the hell did he get that? And that's what makes John Wilson's show so incredible. He points his camera where no one else will, uncover things I've never seen before, and he does it with this awkward ease and disarms the people he interviews in a way that is truly otherworldly.
Do you think Mankind is going to make a comeback?
No, not tonight. He fell off too many Hell in the Cells.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about Mankind in general?
Oh, Mankind, like the whole world? I mean, it's not bad. It could be better, but I'm happy with my life, so.
What do you do?
I catch child predators.
People will offer to show the strangest sides of themselves with just a simple suggestion, or even offer it up freely and unprovoked. And he knows that it's not necessarily about forcing these scenarios into being, but just by noticing, making people feel seen, the world will gift it to you free of charge. It's the power of putting yourself out there. John Wilson isn't this charismatic conman. He's simply a guy with a camera going, oh, okay, that's weird, huh, let me look over here. He's just kind of curious. And sometimes, if you just ask and follow the trail unjudgingly, you'll go from asking about furniture coverings to ending up talking about movies to a grown man trying to reverse his circumcision.
See anything good lately?
Lately, I just saw that, oh my gosh, I'm so old. Words escape me. It's called Parasite.
Oh yeah, I liked Parasite.
Oh, Parasite rocked.
He has an unassuming persona, someone who genuinely is wandering through the world. He seems like he's just trying to make sense of the chaos of modern life, which makes him the perfect person to be carried off by it. It makes sense that he'd awkwardly ask the CEO of Bang Energy to see his house. He's a little disarming, a little uncomfortable, unlike most TV personalities you see. And that, combined with HBO credentials, makes other people let him in. And it's awkward. God, is it awkward at times. But the amount of absurdity being thrown his way each episode, it'd honestly be weirder if he did know how to react. No one should ever know what to say to half of this. What he captures alone would be enough to make this one of the most interesting things on TV today. But what vaults it into a whole new level is his ability to sculpt that chaos. He uses a video essay style approach, which has allowed him to sustain the show for 3 seasons and almost a decade prior. He finds a theme and a through line to chart the seemingly uncategorizable. How to Clean Your Ears starts going down the path about city's noise and how to get rid of that noise, to people who go to the extreme to leave all noise behind. And suddenly he's in the middle of neighbor drama in a town full of electro-sensitives living in the forest.
And we also had a big argument about Roundup, which he insisted you could drink. It was perfectly safe.
And he's able to pair these videos to highlight how absurd we all truly are. That same episode shows a man who tricked out his pickup truck to launch literal cannon sounds straight out of a war zone, complaining about his neighbors riding dirt bikes too noisily.
They'll just drive that quiet up and down the driveway all day.
Oh yeah.
They're idiots.
Oh, that's annoying?
Yeah.
And after 13 years of honing this style, when he got an actual budget, he was able to add a second unit of shooters. He still shoots about 80% of the show, but to me that means that 20% of the magic is recreatable. The way he notices the world around us is a skill that any of us can learn. How does he sculpt it though? This is how to, or at least how I think he might. Step 1, wander the streets of New York. Step 2, find absurdity and film it.
An altar with, sorry to disappoint, no bloodstains.
Step 3, find a through line in the chaos. Step 4, settle in on a theme and go back out and shoot new interviews around that theme. Think how to split a check. Step 5, follow the branches of that idea. Splitting a check can be about fairness. So fairness can bring you to referees. Referees must know how to do things the most equitably. Oh, and now the refs are corrupting a community banquet.
The room erupted into chaos when everyone discovered the prize was going to a high-ranking affiliate of the association.
Step 6, keep following. Wherever it takes you, keep following. And suddenly, a single road will take you to a place unrecognizable from where you first set off.
That is when I feel most alive, you know, it's like when I feel like I'm kind of documenting something or seeing something that kind of no one else has seen.
Step 7, Look back on the journey and realize you can only make sense of it all in hindsight. John Wilson keeps most of this in second person.
You're ripped out of your comfort zone, and you have to use whatever toilets are available.
It's a how-to tutorial that's really disguising what's essentially the vlog of a journey. He once said to Variety, "So much of the rewriting has to happen in the edit because we're now writing to these shots that we could have never predicted we would have, and they're always so much better than the stuff we roughly conceived." You try to capture the absurdity, but often it'll capture you.
As a viewer, I'm watching it. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't think you know where it's going to go.
I mean, that's what excites me the most about the work is that kind of like weird thread that you just have to follow.
And it's the how-to tutorial right in the title that is the best joke built into all of this. It takes the idea that there's one way to do something, one linear path to follow, and simply shows us reality. And suddenly, that whole notion seems absurd. We aren't easily defined. A real life veers into weird tangents just like the show. When this video ends, try going for a walk, or a drive, or a bike ride, and let your view drift off to something new. Maybe not while you're driving, but try to find the stories hidden in plain view around you. Notice where you find them. If you can find where they are, you might start seeking them out, and you'll put yourself in the way of a life worthwhile. And over time, you'll find that it all starts to feel a little more magical. That the everyday hides absurd little stories, and all you have to do is notice. I'm Ryan Harper. Thanks for watching.